If football matches were only 80 minutes long, we'd already be home and dry in our Champions League group. As it is, we've conspired to put ourselves in a situation where we have to beat Real Madrid in our last group game to qualify for the knockout rounds. Hello and welcome to part 41 of the Milan mission. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we are at home to Real Madrid in the final group game of our Champions League campaign. We've got a league game as well, but we're not worrying about the league at the moment. The league's going okay. We're currently joint top with Inter, 33 points after 15 games. League form has been pretty good recently. We've tweaked the tactic a little bit, which we'll get to in a little while. We only did it in the last game, but it looked really good against Genoa. But yeah, that bit I was saying in the intro, Champions League has been so very frustrating. We just seem to be throwing leads and strong positions away in games. If we just look back through the games so far, the first game against Basel, you watched this one. We were in the lead, we were dominating. I mean, look at those stats, but we let them back into it. It was a 1-1 draw. It wasn't a late goal, but we did give away a winning position. Then we were away against Real Madrid. Again, we were in the league. They score 79th minute, 1-1. Could have won that game. If only we could have held on to it. We did beat Marseille 3-0 away, which was excellent. But then in the return leg, when they came to Milan, we were 1-0 up. They got an equaliser in the 67th minute and then a winner in the 85th minute. We threw away a winning position, threw away 3 points. If we'd have just held on to that one, we'd be qualified by now. And then, of course, in the most recent game, I think you've seen all of these Champions League games, actually. We were 1-0 up away against Basel, and we let them back into it in the 83rd minute. And again, we were so dominant in that game, and it's really frustrating because what it means is, going into our final game, look how close this group is. At the moment, any of the 4 teams can still qualify. Any of the 4 teams can still be knocked out. It's about as close as a Champions League group can get. We're at home. We're against Real Madrid. If we beat them, we could still finish top of the group and force them to not qualify. Marseille, I mean, there's so many combinations of things that can happen. It's just ridiculous. And this is the team that we're going to be playing to try and do it. Jack Butland's in goal, a back 4 of George, Romagnoli, Zuma and De Chilio, because Makey's suspended. So this is why we re-signed De Chilio. A few of you have asked. It's for situations like this. We needed a backup right back. Midfield, we've gone for Bazawa and Mauri today. And then up front, we're changing things around a little bit. We're playing Dybala up front because he's not scoring enough goals out wide, certainly as a playmaker. We'd already stopped playing him as a playmaker for a few games and switched him to an inside forward out there, and put Lamar back to being a playmaker. Lamar is outstanding as a playmaker again, back into last season's form, so he needs to be our playmaker. Unfortunately, he's got a bit of an injury. We've given him pain-killing injections, and hopefully he can continue his brilliant form because he's our form player going into this game. So Dybala pushes up front because I wanted to play Guedes and Barbosa and just stick them both on inside forward. Guedes is right-footed on the left. Barbosa is left-footed on the right. They're both going to cut in. Hopefully, by having them cut in, we allow George and De Chilio to push on and get crosses in. But we've also tried to be a little bit clever. We've not tried this before. This is new today. But we've got Guedes and Barbosa set to swap positions with each other as well, just to get them moving from wing to wing, to try and create space from either of them can play either side. I know probably when they switch over, they'd be better off as wingers, but I'm sure they'll still be as effective as inside forwards coming in on their slightly weaker foot because they're both pretty much two-footed. So hopefully we're going to see all 3 of those be massive, massive goal threats, and Lamar just controlling the game the way he has been ever since he's been our playmaker again. We should never. I mean, he was Player of the Year last year as playmaker. We've gone the first 3 months of this season trying to make Dybala our playmaker just because he cost us £200 million, and all we've really done is taken his goals away from him and taken Lamar's form away from him. So hopefully these tweaks allow us to get the best out of both of them, as well as getting Barbosa and Guedes both in the same side, and both being the goal threats that they were last season. I mean, those two, as wide players, got nearly 40 goals between them last year. So, you know, it seems a bit silly not to be pushing goals out of them. Right, Dybala is in here, finds Lamar. Lamar forces a save out of their keeper, and Barbosa hits over from the rebound. I mean, it's a really difficult situation, this match. It is really all on us. It doesn't matter what goes on in the other game. We just have to win this one. I don't think there's any situation in the other game that can lead to us getting away with even a draw. We've got to beat Real Madrid, and it's a horrible situation to be in because Real Madrid are quite good. Don't know if you may have heard of them. They're quite good. I mean, we've got must be close to 15 Champions Leagues between the two clubs out here today, and one of us is probably getting knocked out. Oh, Mauri, what a goal! What a goal that was! I don't even understand what or how he's hit that the way he's hit it. It looked like it should have been bending in off the left, but he ran at it as if it was on the right. Let's have a look. Barbosa gets fouled, actually. George crosses in. Sergio Ramos heads clear, and it's on his left foot. First time. What a finish from Jose Mauri. We've never seen him do that before. Wowzers. 1-0 up. There you go. And that, ridiculously, puts us top of the group. Oh, Kurt Zouma's in. It's 2-0. Oh, Kurt Zouma finally fit and back in the side. And we're 2-0 up. That one's come from nowhere. A corner. And it's just a good header from Kurt Zouma. Look at that. He's running away from goal there. And to run away from goal and still hit that kind of power on the header, we've identified before that he should be scoring more goals from corners. And he's picked one up there when it's massively important. As it stands right now, Real Madrid are going to be knocked out of the Champions League. Is there any combination of results in the other game that sees them through? I just don't think there is. I think it's ridiculous. Basically, the winners of the two games today go through. Marseille are the only team who can get away with a draw. Because if they draw, they hold on to second place. But if Basel win, they push up above Marseille. And they come through with us, and Marseille get knocked out as well. Imagine Marseille and Real Madrid getting knocked out. I mean, this is a proper group of death, and Basel are doing superbly. I feel a little bit ill. Right. I remember the last time we played Real Madrid, we put the sides side by side and said who's the best one. And I guess I forgot that we were 5 years in the future and they've still got Ronaldo in the team and players like that and Sergio Ramos. They're probably all quite old now. So really, on paper, we should be the better team. And I said there's not a result. Real Madrid moved above Marseille for a minute there, didn't they? Basel must have scored, but it wouldn't be enough to get them through. I guess that's on the results in the games that have involved them and Real Madrid. I don't really understand how it works in the Champions League. Right, this experiment with these wide players hasn't really worked. Barbosa swapping back and forth hasn't had the best of games. We're going to take him off and bring Luan on. And Dybala not playing well up front, so Benzema comes on against his old club. And, we've got the strength in depth to be able to... I mean, that's a good substitution. Oh, yeah. Barbosa and Dybala aren't playing well. Never mind, we'll bring on Luan and Benzema, two Champions League winners. I mean, Luan's been a man of the match in the Champions League final. Benzema's won the Champions League multiple times, presumably. Not bad to be able to bring on in situations like this. Right, we're taking off Bazal. I think we're going to bring on Emre Can. Kovacic is there as well, but we just want the more tough tackling one of the two, just to hopefully see us home. We've already identified before the match, though, that this is our danger time in the Champions League this season. We've got the 2-goal cushion today, which hopefully will be enough for us to not spectacularly throw it away. But, we've done some stupid stuff in Europe this season, and we need to make sure that in this danger time, we don't go and throw it all away. I don't know. Should we be switching to a more defensive system? I guess we've brought Emre. Mauri's done it again. Another worldie from Mauri. I mean, he's by no means been a goal-scoring midfielder in the 5 years he's been playing for us. But look at this for a finish. It's another first time. Just dinks it over the top of the keeper. 2 world-class goals from Mauri today. I mean, he has single-handedly gone out there and said, you know what, we're staying in the Champions League. Forget Real Madrid. This is my tournament this year. We're going out with a bang. It's our last season, probably. We want a Champions League win, and we have won our group, and we're through to the knockout stages. And that, I was not at all confident in that happening before the match started. That is awesome. Right, we've got a league game to play now, and then I think we're going to get the knockout round draw before the end of the episode as well. So let's hurry on and do that, shall we? Right, so back in the league then against Pescara, showing off a little bit of strength and depth today. Hopefully it's not going to backfire on us, but there was some tired legs after the Real Madrid game. They all did brilliantly. So, why not rotate a little bit? Butland stays in goal. Donnarumma had quite a long run of games earlier in the season and has still played more games than Butland this season. So this draws Butland level, and we'll probably review things after the winter break now. Butland has earned a spot back in the team with some good recent performances. Lazar comes in at left back for a rare start. Emre Can and Bazawa come in at centre back because we don't have any backup centre backs, so we play midfielders there when we need to rest Romagnoli and Zuma, because why not? We've got Little Gomez knocking around as well. He played in the last league game, but Emre Can hasn't started a game for a little while now, so we'll give him a start to stop him getting all sad. Danilo and Kovacic both come in to central midfield. That's not a bad pairing to be able to bring into the side when you're rotating, is it? Dybala drops back out onto the wing, but as an inside forward with Guedes on the right, and those two are going to be swapping back and forth. Rashford and Ayoze both come in for very rare appearances. They have both scored goals since you were last with us. So we'll get the two. In fact, we might stick those two rotating as well. Why not? They can both play in both positions. Let's get them. I don't know if this is a good or bad thing to do. Let me know down in the comments whether this whole rotating positions thing is a good idea. But we'll just have Rashford and Ayoze swapping back and forth between being the playmaker and the centre forward. And I don't know. Hopefully, with all the forwards moving around like that, it will just be enough to bamboozle the Pescara back six, because they're ridiculous. Right. Here we go. I mean, we've had trouble against this kind of system before. We've not come up against it for a little while, which is odd because now we're a really good team, and teams don't defend against us as much as they used to. But who knows, eh? Guedes, I thought he was going to win a penalty there. Everything seemed to stop the way it does when you win a penalty, but I guess it wasn't to be. I've noticed when I was putting the team together just how few goals we've got out of this front four this season. When you think of the front four that played most of last year, and it scored, must be 90 goals between the four of them. This front four are barely in double figures, and we're almost at the halfway point of the season. I know two of them are backup players, but two of them are regular starters, and £250 million of a player there. We need more goals this season, and hopefully the changes we've made, just switching stuff around, will help with that. Rashford hits the crossbar. I mean, it's about time he started coming good on the £50 million we spent on him. Ayoze, I've accepted the fact he's probably not good enough, and I think we'll probably try and ship him out in January to get Benzema back into the Serie A squad. In fact, we'll probably try and get Benzema into the squad regardless, and Ayoze will either leave or find himself as the one who's not selected, and he won't be selected for either of them because Benzema's obviously going to keep his place in the Champions League squad as well. Right, we haven't scored yet. I wonder if this is it the fact that we've got a much weakened front line, or is it the fact that we're playing silly and swapping them all around? So we can't get daft and throw games away in the league like we're in danger of doing right now. Perhaps the experiment with swapping players around is going to be fairly short-lived because we're not looking particularly lethal attacking again. And without Mauri, because remember, it wasn't our forwards that beat Real Madrid. It was a good header from Kurt Zouma and two worldies from Mauri. We didn't create a huge number of chances for the front four, and obviously none of them scored. So let's not have a couple of outstanding performances paper over the cracks. Yes, we beat Real Madrid, but now we're losing against Pescara, and this puts into 3 points clear at the top of the league if things stay as they are. And that is not a happy situation for us to be in. Right, Danilo tries to find Ayoze but doesn't. Tries again and doesn't. Tries a third time, can't get to Dybala. Danilo for the fourth time finds Rashford. Rashford to Ayoze. That was nice football. Rashford drop it. Oh, it's offside. I mean, there was some nice build-up. There was a nice little ball from Rashford, but I guess the reason it got there is because Ayoze had drifted into an offside position. And that's a shame because I think the build-up play there deserved a goal. Danilo desperately trying to just find anyone who wanted the football. He's captain today as well. Didn't realise that. Right, Kovacic is coming off. He's got worldies in him at the moment. Let's bring Mauri on, see what he can come up with. We'll swap him over because he was playing as box-to-box midfielder when he scored both those goals. So let's try and get him into their area. And we're going to bring Luan on for Ayoze. Do that. And just keep them swapping back and forth. This is probably a one-game experiment with this because none of them are playing particularly well. Possibly because they don't really know what position they're playing in. Like I say, I've never really experimented with this before. It might be a stupid idea, in which case we'll stop. You'll let me know in the comments whether it's stupid or not, I imagine. Right, we do need to get back into this game, though. Oh, MHN gets it away. Right, Maori to Danilo. Over the top again, this time to Luan. I mean, he's trying that ball repeatedly. He does find Luan this time. He breaks free, forces a save out of their keeper. That's the first clear-cut chance we've had, but we didn't capitalise on it. Corner from Dybala. It's clear to Luan again, and Dybala's now offside. Right. Come on, lads. We've got 15 minutes. We need a goal. We cannot be losing against the likes of Pescara. We've just beaten Real Madrid 3 days ago. I mean, this is ridiculous. Right. Rashford. Oh, we've got none of our big guns on the bench. Where's Barbosa? Barbosa's there. He's coming on for Rashford. And we're going to stick him up front. And we're going to do this. And we're going to tell everyone to stop messing around, swapping back and forth their positions. No, we'll do that. How do we undo this? We go in there, don't we? And we say no swapping. And for you, no swapping. And you, no swapping. And you, no swapping. Right. Hopefully, that will. I mean, I've not really tried Dybala as a central playmaker before. He might be wonderful there. We could push him up alongside Barbosa for the last 5 minutes. We could. I mean, those two. Dybala's in and he's offside now. Right, that's it. They're both going up top. I mean, it's your football manager dream wonder kid combination up front now. Right, you can be a complete forward on support. You can be. Why not a complete forward on attack? And, I mean, look at that. Look at that front four, for goodness sake. How is that not going to get us a goal? It's just, I mean, yeah, we've spent 250 million to get those two up front together. But, goodness me, you expect them to get a goal when they're playing together. Especially against Pescara. But we're not going to, are we? And that, it's one of those ridiculous episodes where it starts so well and we get so excited and then stupid things like that happen. Oh God, are we giving him a pay rise? Oh goodness me, he's an expensive player, isn't he? Right, I guess we just need to do that Champions League draw then. Right, what better way to close out the episode than a Champions League draw? Look, we're seeded. How things have changed. Remember that second season we weren't in the Champions League in the first season? That first season back in the Champions League, we weren't even seeded for the group stage. Now we're seeded for the knockout rounds. Look at that. Look at that's good company to be in. Atletico, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, Bayer Leverkusen, Barcelona and Sporting. We cannot play any of them. So the teams we could come up against, quite some big teams there. Goodness me. Porto, Juventus, Man City, Marseille, Salzburg, Liverpool, Man United, Vitesse. I guess at this stage we still can't play Juventus, maybe. And presumably we also can't play Marseille because they came through our group, unless it is just seeded and that's it. So I guess we want Red Bull Salzburg or Vitesse. They would be the two we'd be confident of navigating. Should we just do the draw though? Right, so Juventus will play Arsenal. Okay, so yeah. So right, this is one we want. AC Milan. There you go. That's. I mean, we couldn't have hoped for a better draw. Let's get the rest of the draw out there as well. See what other big games there are. I mean, there are some big games there. Look at this. Man City against Barcelona, that one's massive. I mean, that is the very best draw we could have hoped for. Is our name on the Champions League trophy this year? It needs to be, because I just don't think we've got time for another season after this. If you've enjoyed that episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.